Spencer, thanks so much for having me out here. I'm in Maberly, and what a privilege to be in Love Soluble, your home. And I've just been eager to see this place and what's been going on. And this is for the prison networking group, and well, anyone who tunes into our YouTube channel for Released for Good. Just thrilled to be able to speak to you today. Could you tell us a bit about Love Soluble and your background, your history as far as what got you into this? What's the story?
Awesome, yeah, sure, Carl. And we're very glad to have you out here.
Oh,
by the way, thank you, and all you folks on YouTube and sitting at home in the prison networking group. We see each other on that last Monday of the month, so nice to see you all again, and thanks for your interest in our not-for-profit corporation. So Love Soluble was a dream of mine as I was incarcerated, and thinking about ways that the addictions treatment, or the way addictions is treated through incarcerations, and how that system could be improved on.
Okay.
So I have had conflict with the law for several years, where I got stuck in the cycle of recidivism, in and out of jail, all provincial, and also suffer from a life-threatening substance use disorder. So I've had opportunity to try different treatment programs over the years, and tried the Ministry of Safety and Corrections treatment program several times. So what I noticed was in all my years coming in and out is I noticed that when I would get inside and I'd be separated from my substance, I would start to experience a change of heart, where I would want to make a change in my life, where I realized that drugs might be the problem, which was an admission I was never ready to make while I was on the street using.
Oh, okay.
So I started to notice that while a person is incarcerated, that a willingness to change comes from the consequence that the individual is facing.
Okay.
So there's some motivation there for change that otherwise might not be there when...
Not out in the street.
That's right.
Okay.
So from there, I had a couple of experiences. Once I went to a private treatment program. Okay. And my experience with that was that while I was sitting in pre-sentenced incarceration, that when we were willing to pay an extraordinary amount of money for a private treatment facility, that the court was all too pleased to see an individual who wanted to address the issues that led them to the criminal behavior that led them to become incarcerated. Okay. And so I saw that the court system doesn't want to keep people in jail. They want to see people get better. They want to keep people out of jail, really. And so when a person comes up with a plan, the courts wants to help that person succeed, and they will send you on your way. So I did do a private treatment, and I did experience some success in my recovery. I did stick around with that treatment center in a mentorship role for almost a year post-treatment, and experienced some success. However, I did have a relapse, and that did send me back out using, which did bring me back into the penal justice system. Yeah. And so
back to the drawing board.
Yeah, a few more sentences and a few more treatments later, I started noticing some other stuff. So what I noticed was, when I was incarcerated and I hadn't found that willingness because of the consequences I was facing, that when I asked to make application to a drug treatment facility, I could find applications while I was incarcerated, which was fine, and I could fill them out and I could apply, and I could get response from those institutions. the few that do have their applications inside the provincial jails. But consistently the answer was that when your sentence is complete,
Yes.
we can then give you treatment.
Okay.
And then so part of the problem for a lot of individuals who are incarcerated pre-sentenced is that they don't have an exit date because they have not yet been sentenced.
Exactly.
So that makes it difficult. The province does have what's called a drug treatment court, which would mean an individual could, as an alternative to sentencing, could apply to the drug treatment court. However, in order to get into the drug treatment court program, an individual has to first plead guilty,
Okay.
then become sentenced, and part of their sentence then becomes that they'll be released and that they'll be mandated to complete this drug treatment course,
Okay.
where, you know, if they are unable to fulfill their obligations, then that would be rescinded and they would come back.
Okay.
So nothing like the private treatment, where when you paid the money, they didn't care that I was pre-sentenced. They said, hey, go do something about your problem. So I said, well, how can I change that?
Yes.
How can I offer private style treatment to people who are in a pre-sentence state of incarceration? And so I started doing a lot of thinking around that.
Okay.
Then I also started doing a lot of thinking around what treatment programs were doing right, and areas also in which I felt drug treatment was lacking. I'm like, so, because I would ask myself, why I got the treatment, why did I use again? Right? And I got the treatment several times, well, why did I use again? So where were the holes in that? So my last period of incarceration, and I was released on bail and came to Ottawa and lived in a shelter, and I actually experienced success. Was the last time that I had to, and so I've drawn up a program based on all of the things that I had to do to navigate the system in order to get released, and the modalities of the treatment, what I had to do in my life in order to find success, and then I've taken that personal experience and then also been educated in the field of addictions, and so I have a bit of a background in that, and so I've rolled that all into one and designed
So this Love Soluble isn't just you taking your experience from the multitude of treatment programs that you've been in. You've actually, upon release, you've gone to a community college to take some training, addictions counselor, or what was the training?
Yep, so that's right. I went to an accredited career college and took the Addictions Community Service Worker program, it's a 2-year diploma program.
Good on you.
And so I received some education in that. Beyond that, to become a certified addictions counselor, there's a certification body, and so there's a lot more requirement past your college education. So like becoming a plumber or an electrician, you do your school, and you also need so many thousand hours work in the field, plus you need to be clinically supervised as a counselor, and I'm all in the process of
You're in the process of it.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Is this, so this is part of that accreditation then?
Yeah.
For you, to get your papers or whatever, for another.
Yep. So I'm currently in the last phase of my clinical supervision with
Fantastic.
my clinical supervisor, who holds one of the highest accreditations that a person can hold. So he's actually training me to become certified to train other counselors.
Fantastic.
So that when a new counselor comes through our doors here, or a student who is like in the same place I was, they can then come here, get their hours, and I can supervise them. So we're in the process of that certification as well.
Oh, this is a broader scope than I was aware of. That's fantastic.
Right.